Hey guys, it's me Matthew again, and today I'm going to be reading another one of the books that I have written down called The Morphling Civil Wars. And for those who don't know what a Morphling is, it's a human who's able to morph into another animal. Like, hey, in this particular instance, you could be a human then morph into, let's say, a bear or an eagle, so on and so forth. And well, you basically are able to help hunt, do whatever you need. Well, also, well, you'll listen here in a moment. But anyways, I hope you enjoy the story, because I'm honestly very curious on how I'm going to edit this out once they're all done. But anyways, let's continue on with the story. There was a cold world of nature, and within that nature there were villagers working together to keep their village thriving. But one night, the village chieftain Solly was out meditating when he heard a voice calling out to him in whispers that broke his concentration. Solly, Solly. Solly called out, "Who's there? No children are allowed out after curfew." Solly, come to me. Run with me. Solly, where are you? Who are you? I'm here in between these two trees with flowers growing around them. A glowing mist or a fog or vapor with glowing green eyes showing between the two trees. Solly, what's your name? Catch me to find out. The chase was difficult. They went through bushes, trees, went up a mountain, and then the cliff's edge. Your determination is admirable, but let's see if you were able to catch me when I do this. The chieftain ran after the vapor before it went off the cliff, but in doing so, they fell off the cliff anyways. The chieftain closed his eyes, waiting for his death, but when he opened his eyes, he found that he was blind. He looked to his right to see that his arm was an eagle wing, then looked behind himself and saw that he was the eagle itself. The chieftain flew to a nearby river stream. When the chieftain got to the stream, he saw his reflection, and instead of seeing him looking like an eagle, he saw his own reflection in the water, his human reflection. Solly, how am I seeing myself as I was in the water, but not what I've become? I wonder, how can I become my old self? The chieftain heard a whisper. Jump high backwards and land on your feet. Solly did what the whisper told him and jumped high backwards, landing on his feet in his human form. Solly, I need to show and tell my village what I found out. Solly came home that night, and in the morning he gathered the village to announce what he found. Solly, everyone here in the village, while I was out meditating last night in the Winter Grove Forest, I found something that can change the lives of everyone here in the village. I found the power of the bold eagle. Solly jumped high up backwards and morphed into a bold eagle, landing on his talons. The villagers were amazed, and then the chieftain jumped high backwards, morphing back into himself. Sully, I believe you can obtain your animal forms through meditation, open-mindedness, focus, patience, and inner peace within not just yourself, but within nature. Now, please, let's have a test after dinner tonight to see who among us is able to hear their own whispers that'll give you your animal forms. That the whispers are based on if you hear them, find them, and chase them, as well as trust them. They will keep you safe, like-minded. You may go back to your duties, everyone. The villagers went back to their duties and waited for tonight to gain their animal forms. When that time came around, everyone was outside meditating and waiting. The next morning, all but the very elderly and the young of under 10 gained their animal forms. The villagers decided on a new name for their village, Morphling Village, and called themselves the Morphlings. There were Morphlings that morphed into different kinds of bears, canines, felines, avians, lizards, horses, donkeys, deer, bison, cattle, and more, except insects, as well as specific types of sea creatures. They worked together as a family at first, until one day the morphlings that could morph into the same species and breed came together. Then the next day they went to the chieftain. Species and breeds leaders are chieftain. We were thinking that those of the same species and breed should form our own clans, while those yet to become a morphling gets taken into this village after they no longer need their mother's milk. Then ones of age be taken to the appropriate clan or form their own if they're not of the same species or breeds as the clans that are already made. Sully, as much as I want to disagree with you on this, I can see the determination in your eyes, and I know there's no stopping you all from making this happen. So, I will agree to allow this, but I will not be a part of it. I will stay here until I have chosen a new chieftain for our village that I shall rename to the village of New Morph. The Morphling clan leaders all agreed, then set out to make new homes, new villages with roads connecting to the original village at the center of the others being made. The clans over time fought mainly in competition or to unite the different breeds of the same species. This continued for 30 generations, but then my generation came into being of a different mindset that could change the future of the clans forever. This is the Morphling Civil Wars. Chapter 2, The 31st Generation. My second and last name is /Clash, but my first name has yet to be decided. I was born in the old village where my parents didn't end up having animal forms. I had leather and a wool coat for outside. I'll be turning 10 tomorrow and be on an adventure to find my animal form. I had red-green eyes with an intense stare. I had hair of fire, but not actually on fire or was fire. Two of my teeth were showing. I was the type who could get easily confused or could understand depending on the situation. I like to eat fish and various types of birds, but don't worry, we make sure we don't end up killing then eat the morphlings by using a demorph water that transforms from animal form to human form, so there's no need for concern. I am a complex-minded yet simple-minded person to some extent. I am an empathetic person at heart and could get others to get along even if I have to give them my intense stare or grip their shoulders hard. I could be very playful from time to time, even to the extent of hiding in extreme places or running at extreme speeds. Both my hearing and eyesight were sharp like diamonds. I could sleep for 2 hours in the day, but around 7 at night. Anyways, enough about me, it's time to get some sleep. The next morning, I ate breakfast, did my chores, and when it was 3 p.m., it was time for my journey to find my animal form. Chieftain, are you ready for your journeys to discover your animal forms before you take the next step and join your clans? The other children cheered. There had to be 20 of us here, but most of them were boys, like myself, while the rest were girls, who I know it picked on, except for one who was like me and take care of ourselves. The only things that caught my attention from her were her beautiful purple eyes, her purple hair, her voice, and seeing her personality from a distance. Anyways, the chieftain began to speak. Chieftain, now then, remember, you have to be patient, trusting of your animal forms, at peace with nature and yourself. Be waiting to hear the whispers while meditating, then find the whispers, then finally go chase them until you catch them to become your animal forms. Do y'all understand? Children, we all nodded or said, yes, sir. Chieftain, well then, go out into the forest and find out your animal forms. And so we went into the forest to find an ideal meditation spot. I went to the top of the mountain peak and found a rock that was smooth, not to mention perfect. I meditated until 2 hours after it got dark, when I heard not a whisper, but snow crunching or packing in. I opened my eyes, and there near the mountain peak was a glowing vapor with glowing red eyes, my red eyes. I was going to get up, but the vapor shook its head, and so I stayed still. The vapor came to me, circled me, then looked right into my eyes. Vapor, are you ready to make a difference in your life? I am. Vapor. Good. Then let's change fate together. I closed my eyes, lowering my head, smiling, and I assumed the vapor did the same. And I opened my eyes, the vapor was gone. I looked at my arm to see it covered in fur. I felt stronger, more fierce, and more graceful. I looked for a stream, and when I found one, I looked at my reflection and then saw myself. I then saw on my right the reflection of the purple-eyed and purple-haired girl next to my own. I looked to my right and saw that she was a saber-toothed tiger. Purple-haired girl. Hi there, I see you're a saber-toothed tiger like myself. Yeah, I guess we're going to be part of the same clan. She laughed. I guess so. Anyways, what's the name you've chosen to be called? I was thinking Sabor. She smiled. I was thinking Sabria for me. Well, it's nice to meet you, Sabria. Sabria. It's nice to meet you too, Sabor. We both jumped up high backwards and morphed back into ourselves. Well, we should head back to the village. We don't need them to worry about us. Sabria. Agreed, but we can continue to talk on our way there. I won't argue with a good conversation. Sabria. I'm glad. Also, you do know that we're the first to be saber-toothed tigers, right? Plus, I always wanted to get to know you, but I was focused on doing my part, same as you. Same here, but you know, since we're the first Morphlings to get the form of a saber-toothed tiger, that means we're supposed to become a clan, right? Sabria. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm wanting to get to know you. I figured, though, to think we're going to have to make our own village, which will be hard to do on our own. Sabria. Agreed, but it's the growing up part that drives the process of it all. I won't deny that. Plus, I found that we're quite similar in our approach to things. Sabria. Same, but I found that I'm more smarter than you in areas that you lack, even compared to things that I lack and where you excel at. I figured that out as well. We both laughed, then we saw the village gate. Well, we're here, so let's see what our chieftain has to say. Sabria. Yeah? We went to our chieftain. Chieftain, so what animal forms did you two take? We took each other's hands, backed up, let go, and jumped up high backwards, morphing into our animal forms, revealing we're majestic saber-toothed tigers. Chieftain. I see you two have taken the same form and are now saber-toothed tigers, but what will you be calling yourselves? We morph back into our human forms. Sabor. Sabria. Sabria. Chieftain. Well, Sabor, Sabria, do you know how to build a house? I do, since I helped build the house that burnt down that one time. Sabria. I know how to set the interior and exterior of a house, including setting up the walkways. Chieftain. Good, 'cause you two get to make your own village together. I also see that you two got close since your journey, which means you two are going to become a couple, am I correct? Yes, sir. Chieftain. Okay then, let me just write this down in there. Now then, if you two follow this map, you can find an unclaimed spot for you two to make your village. I smiled. Okay, it was nice to be a part of this village for as long as I did. Chieftain. Me too. Safe travels, you two. We hugged our old chieftain. We will. Bye. The chieftain and my parents smiled longfully. Chieftain. Bye. Bye. We followed the map to where our old chieftain said no one has claimed, and now we have a lot of work ahead of us. Chapter 3. Building a village before a verbal fight. We slept in a starting shelter made of snow, sticks, logs, and leaves with very little rocks. The next morning we hunted for food. After we were done eating, Sabri scavenged while I was planning out our home and getting the structure built bit by bit. An hour and a half, the foundations were done. Next was building the exterior. After 5 hours of hard, rough, excruciating work, we got the exterior complete for now. We then took a break and got something to eat, then drink. After we were done, I scavenged while Sabria was building the interior until it got dark, where we went out for a run. The wind on our faces, the smell of the forest, the speedy rush under our paws, and the compacting, scattering sound of snow under our paws was a wonderful sensation that would change anyone who experiences this feeling. After we went up a mountain and to its top, we watched the winter night sky, the blood moon, lunar eclipse, aurora of many colors, and the stars above us. We morphed into our normal selves, and we sat down on a comfortable rock holding each other's hands. Sabria, it's such a beautiful night. Indeed, though when I look at it, it reminds me of you, especially all those beautiful clusters of stars forming the shape of your eye colors, and in your sacred tiger eye shape. Sabria, do they actually? They do, and the more we get to know each other, let alone working together, the more you become my beloved horizon, a beautiful winter night sky. Sabria, it's similar for me, but instead of you being my horizon, I see you as my landscape with an external flame that neither dims or goes out, but always flickering and dances in the wind. While I see your true face, many others see a almost merciless blizzard that kills anybody that tries to challenge you. That sounds accurately correct, and when I see the night sky, I see it full of creation and destruction, full of life and death, full of cold, dust, and elements throughout. That's also how I think of you when people don't know who you really are underneath when it's right there in front of them. Sabria, yep, that sums up my life there. We laughed. Let's head back to our home so that we can continue building it in the morning. Sabria, agreed, I'm tired, and you wouldn't mind if I slept with you, would you? I laughed. Not at all. I used to hug my second pillow back at our old village. Sabria laughed. Sabria, well then, guess we'll be each other's second pillow to hug while sleeping. We laughed. When we got home, we went into the igloo and slept in each other's arms in a hug until the morning. The next morning, we ate breakfast and worked all day for 7 hours until our home was actually done, until we wanted to expand. We ate not too long after we got done building our home, when all of a sudden we heard a snap of a twig. We rushed over to where the sound came from to find a pack of what looked like they're from the Hyen clan. I crossed my arms. Can we help you with something? One of the Hyen clan members spoke. No, we just came over to see the new weaklings in their pitiful village. Sighing, I smiled with a wild excitement in my eyes, barely containing my laughter. So what you want is a butt beating. I laughed. Okay then, we'll wait for you to make the first move, unless if you're all bark and no bite. Sabria giggled. The same person spoke angrily. Why, you little, are you trying to call us out? We laughed. Sabria, yes, because it's against the rules to attack a just getting started village that doesn't have more than 50 people living in it. The same person spoke. I don't recall that being. He was interrupted by a voice in the distance saying, Hey Kyle, what are you 10 doing? You know the rules say we can't attack or pick a fight with a developing village that doesn't have more than 50 people living in it. Kyle, you know I don't listen to the clan meetings if they don't have fighting or raiding involved in them, chafed in KO. KO. And because of that, I'm punishing those of you who didn't listen to everything I say in those meetings, starting with you for encouraging this unknowing rule breaking. Now head home. We'll start it when I get back. Kyle. Yes, sir. Kyle morphed into a coyote and ran off. KO. Sorry about that. They only just joined a few days ago, and I'm trying to get them to understand the rules, but here's one drop of this if you need me, especially if you need more of it. Kyle handed me a glass vial of clear yellow liquid. Is this your KO? Yeah, us coyotes have a high sense of smell, especially of our own scent. I didn't even question it. Okay, thank you for the gift. KO. No problem. But anyways, I should be heading back to my village to punish those 10. Hey, wait, if you're going to punish Kyle, kick his butt for Sabria and I, please. KO. I will. And what's your name? Sabor. KO. Thank you, Sabor. I'll try to remember that. Anyways, bye. Sabria. Bye. KO walked off to his village while Sabria and I went for a run before we came back home to sleep for the night. Chapter 4. 10 years past as sun preparation. 10 years later, our village has grown tremendously. We have almost 50 people living here. The rules here are the same as the rest, but a bit different. Rule 1, be a family as a whole. Rule 2, attack second. Rule 3, if the attackers run, chase them out of the border and stay on guard until it seems safe. Rule 4, you don't owe anything to family. Rule 5, have infinite hope, faith, and love. Rule 6, don't care about anything that has nothing to do with family. Rule as well as doing your part. And Rule 7, if the family has allies, call them to help out so we can protect each other to survive. Those of the Saber clan live by these rules every day, and those who don't within our clan either gets a smack right upside the forehead, the back of the head, or we just let girls deal with them their way. Anyways, it was that time that several 10-year-olds get their animal forms, and we were waiting to welcome however many of them come here, if any at all. Hours later, before we all ate dinner, we saw the new members of our clan. I came over to greet them. Welcome to your new home, young ones. How many of you are there? A little girl. Out of all of us who came here, is everyone who went out to find their animal forms, sir. I believe there are around 50 of us. How many are already living here? I laughed. Around the same. Come on, you all must be hungry. Little girl. Thank you, my new chieftain. My name is Sabri. My name is Sabur, and you're welcome, Sabri. After we all ate dinner, Sabri and I went to bed. The next morning, after we all were done eating, I spoke. Attention everyone, now that we have over 50 members of our clan, we must prepare for being attacked by the other clans. Remember, attack second, work together as a family. For our attackers running, chase them off outside our borders. Be sure to have the 3 infinites, hope, faith, as well as love in each other. Don't bother with anything that has nothing to do with our rules or our family, and most importantly, protect each other. Those who can defend themselves and know how to build a barricade, go out to our borders to build a barricade. That is difficult for anyone to get through. Everyone else, you can fight, get ready for one at any time. For those who don't know how to fight or is too weak to, there is a cave that takes you to a land that only we know. As far as we know, that will keep you safe, but we don't know that for certain. All we know is that it's more lush of green, filled with other elements that are similar and different to the elements we're accustomed to. The creatures there are unknown, but we do have some of our own who are exploring and learning what's there. I called them this morning, and they should be here any time. Anyways, it's time to prepare. Stay safe, everyone. Everyone began to prepare for an attack by cutting down trees and putting them around the borders of our village. We even tied vines together to the logs, spread mud along the inside for stability, and logs going outward towards the logs standing up to hold the structure together from the inside. We were getting our borders defenses built quickly, but doing it cautiously so there won't be almost any mistakes or flaws with our defenses. Once the defenses were done, we had those who could fight on patrol around the border while Sabrina and I were waiting for our exploration group to get back from the cave. After a while, we saw them come over. We're glad to see you all are okay and alive. What did you find out? Head Explorer. A lot. We found other people in this other land that is actually underground, but it just looks like the sky. Sabria. Were these people like us? Head Explorer. No, they're actually elemental masters. As in they can control the element they inherit or learn to control? Head Explorer. The first one, and not just that, there are even elemental creatures acute to their environment. One of them came back with us since Serperi gave it food and a name. Where is it? Serperi. Oh, when? He's up there. She pointed to the ceiling. We looked up and saw a white, green, as well as ice blue lizard of some sort that was quick, silent, cunning, looks to be 5 feet tall and 15 feet long, with the additional 5 feet long tail. The inside of its mouth was cold, but it had a carnivore snowflower for a tongue. As long as it's on our side, I think we have a chance. Head Explorer. Why? Well, we have around 100 members of our clan now, and we're now prepared for a fight if one comes our way. Sabria. Agreed. We went into our organization room of our home and was shown the layout of this underground place. Head Explorer. So now that you two know the layout and how the elemental masters of each plane are like both socially as well as defensive to attack power, where do we go if we can't live here anymore? Although those of the nature tribes are peaceful but don't take kindly in a big way to those who attack them, who also live in harmony with that of the water, ice, and earth tribes, so they'll work together as one. However, the stone, metal, lightning, crystal, amber, and shadow tribes are more constructive, but still big on power, knowledge, as well as offensive power. Then the form, poison, energy, light, ash, and sound tribes are a well-mannered bunch that when provoked by an attack, they kill off the provoker. Then the last bunch are gravity, time, darkness, and speed tribes are more predicting, not to mention and hard to get to without a helping hand of a time, as well as speed elemental masters. And you know one of each? Head Explorer. Yup, Tempor and Blur. Just note that Blur can't talk a lot, but Tempor is an actual historian, not to mention a corny guy that likes to make jokes. I'll keep those in mind. Oh yeah, our best bet is to go to them for safety. Chapter 5. Waiting for an attack, but instead, the next morning, Sabria and I were waking up annoyed. We went to the door and we spoke in surprise. Sabria. What do you? I saw my mother and father at the front door. Mother? Father? Did the guards let you into the village? Mother. Oh yeah, we are members of the original village after all, and there is a rule that anyone who lives in the original village that doesn't have an animal form gets free reign over all the village, is with the other rule that those from that village aren't to be harmed intentionally in a severe way. Father, plus we wanted to see how you've grown up and seen how well you have your village prepared for an attack at any moment is impressive. Sabria walked over to the door. Mother. Hi, Sabria. Have you been treating my boy well? Sabria. Oh, hi, Miss. Yes, and Mr. Clash. Mother. Did we surprise you, sweetie? Sabria. Yes, you did. But please, don't wake us this early in the morning, because now we're both a little annoyed from being woken up so suddenly. Father, sorry about that. We're still new to the behaviors and customs of saber-toothed tigers that aren't morphlings, given the fact that they're so rare to find for an accurate study. Mother, yeah, we only found out of them yesterday, and our researchers haven't given us any details of what they're like. Really? Anyways, it was nice seeing you two again, but we need to get something to eat. Mother. Oh, okay, it was nice seeing you again, Sabor, and especially you, Sabria, you beautiful young lady. Sabria. Thank you, Mrs. Glash. Father, stay safe, stay cunning, and, most importantly, give us grandchildren while you're at it. He laughed, then I sighed. Really, Father? Just go, you'll have your grandchildren whenever you get them. He laughed, with me gently pushing them both off our porch. Mother. Alright, we're going. They giggled as they were walking off. Sabria. I'm surprised you didn't tell them. We don't know if you even are just yet. But anyways, let's get something to eat. Sabria. Agreed. After we ate, we went to our head explorer. You wouldn't happen to be able to take me to your time and speed elemental masters, would you? Head explorer. I could indeed, but why do you want to meet them? So I can see this place and arrange a deal with them. Head explorer. Okay, I'm fine with that. Is Mrs. Sabria not coming? No, she'll stay in case if we get attacked while we're gone. Head explorer. Understandable, but if we leave now, we can get to them at sunset. Okay then, hang on. I walked over to Sabria. I'll be back in the morning if I don't see you later today. Sabria giggled a little. Sabria. Okay, Sabors. See you whenever I see you. I love you too. Bye. We kissed, then our head explorer and I went off to find the time and speed elemental masters. This underground landscape was beautiful. It has natural lighting that mimics the actual sky colorings from day to night, or so our head explorer said. It even has natural weather as well, which I found interesting since it was snowing on our way there. We hit the jungle 3 hours later and even ran into some of the elemental masters here. They were quite friendly and gave us a safe path through the jungle, which was hot in some places, but cool in others. 2 hours later, we got out of the jungle and we hit the intersection of the swamplands and the mountain caves. We went into the mountain caves area and saw a elemental master waiting at the entrance of one of the caves. We went to the elemental master. Head explorer. Hey Stone, what's going on? Stone. Oh, not much, just guarding the entrance like normal, Sandre. And I take this is your chieftain Sabor, right? It's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you too, Stone. And I take it that you're a stone elemental master? Stone. It's a ironic situation for me on that. But yes, I am. Anyways, my transfer shift should be here in seconds so that I can escort you to the shortcut through the caves in the mountains, and here she is now. Hi, Stonia. Stonia. Hi, Stone. I see you have company. Stone. I'll be escorting them to where they need to go. Stonia. Guess I'll see you on your next shift then, but please, go so you can have some spare time. Stone. Okay, we're going. We walked through the mountain caves and saw a lot of beautiful things that would put almost anyone's mind at ease. 4 hours later, we were out of that complex cave system. Stone. Here's our stop. Sorry it took so long. It's okay, you got us here as fast as you could. But anyways, see you when we get back. Stone. Okay, see you then. Bye, Sandra. Sandra. Bye, Stone. See you when we see you. Stone. Bye. As we were walking, we saw a flash of a person running at high speed. Sandra. It's okay, Blur. He's my chieftain. Blur stopped in front of us. Blur. Hi, Sandra. It's nice to finally meet you, say Blur. I'm Blur, meaning I show up as a blur when I run. It's nice to meet you too, Blur. But where's your time elemental master friend? Blur sighed. Blur. Tempor, I can see you. Show yourself and introduce yourself to Sandra's chieftain. Tempor showed up out of thin air. Tempor. Fine, hi, I'm Tempor. It's about time we met, Sabor. I've heard great things about you and Sabria. It's nice to meet you too, Tempor. Anyways, can you two please take us to your home so that I can make a proposal to who's in charge? Blur and Tempor nodded at each other. Blur. Hold on tight, cause this might get rough. I prepared myself the best I could, and we sped off. The surroundings disappeared little by little, really fast, in a beautiful way, to the point where I saw a gold, white, silver, bronze, and honey place with large buildings that defy what I know to be possible. It was like some sort of paradise. Even the air was fresher than in the winter forest. I might come here often. Chapter 6. The Tour and Agreement. This place was bigger than I thought it was at first. The more I walked through this place, the more this place seems endless. Tempor called this place a city. I don't understand all that, but I wasn't going to question it. We were heading to the GTDS Council building so that I can make an agreement with them that benefits my clan. When we got there, we went inside. Blur. I'll be right back. I got to take care of something real quick. Tempor. Okay, don't take too long. Blur. I will try not to. We continued to walk on, and not too long after we got to the council room. Tempor, sorry for bothering you, Council, but we have a visitor who is from the surface and would like to make an agreement with you. Time Council member. What's your name, sir? I'm Chieftain Sabor of the Saber Clan, and I would like to make an agreement for the possibility of us losing our village, that we can live here where the other clans can't find us. Speak, council member. How many of you are in your clan? Around 100. Gravity council member. Well then, there's more than enough room to house you all, but what will you do for us? We'll see what we can do our part until we can get the other elemental tribes to get along long enough to do something. This history of conflict upon the clans and bring them together as one united village, like it had been a long time ago. Though if This motivates the elemental tribes to come together to create something bigger as one people, or even you elemental masters in the Morphling clans could be one people by working together, let alone being a family. Whole council side. Darkness council member. We've been trying to do that for 1,000 years with no success. Do you really think you can make a difference? Not on my own, but with my other half Sabria, we may be able to change the tides and be able to do one of those possible futures. You may not know me or my other half Sabria, but we will not give up until it gets done, which is better than doing nothing. I assure you all that. I felt something inside me that was coming out cold. Time council member, are you sure you're a Morphling and not an elemental master? I morphed into my safety tiger form, then morphed back into my human form. Yes, I'm sure. Why do you ask? Darkness council member, you're producing winter particles that is different than the ice elemental masters. Well, my father came into my mother's life, but if he were an ice elemental master, she wouldn't know unless he told her without them telling me about it. I'm not going to throw out that possibility, but I'm not here to talk about my heritage. I'm here to make an agreement to keep my clan here if we lose our village. Gravity Council member, will at least tell us your last name before we agree to your terms. My last name is Clash. Whole council was shocked. Darkness council member, Clash, as in you're the son of Wint Clash? I thought Wint was his middle name. Speed council member, Wint is his first name. He was one of the few who tried to unite the elemental master tribes 25 years ago, and would be 45 by now, correct? Yeah, that's how old he is. Darkness council member, your father was one of the most powerful elemental masters of his time. He was the embodiment or harmony of the nature, water, ice, and earth tribes, which is what made him so powerful. He could change the environment around himself to only those were elements. Wait, who's Sabria's parents? I don't know about her father, but her mother, Gal Aurora, was part of the first village that all young ones go to live with their parents until they gain their animal forms, but both my father and Gal Aurora never found them. I don't even think Sabria's father even knows about her. Why do you ask? Gravity Council member, Gal Aurora is my daughter, and you're saying that you, as well as her daughter Sabria, are together? I guess so, which means that, wait, you mean she's able to... Gravity Council member, he's the embodiment of the elements gravity, darkness, speed, time, light, form, and a morphling as well. Well, guess that means that this turned into a family agreement. I laughed. The Gravity Council member began to laugh as well. Gravity Council member, I guess so. Do you all like Sabor's terms to this agreement? All raise their hands in laughter. Gravity Council member, well then guess it's an official agreement then. Your clan is welcome to stay here anytime. Thank you, Tribe Council, for this opportunity to stay here when our village is in absolute peril. Gravity Council member, no, thank you for allowing me to know I have a grandchild that you are partnered with who can trust each other. You're welcome then, I guess. Anyways, I've got to go to wherever Tempor lives for the night before I go home. Gravity Council member. Well then, see you next time then. Bye. Bye. Chapter 7. A Day's Return. When I got home after a long day, I knocked on the door. Sabria, I'm home. Sabria came over. Sabria, I'm so glad you're home. How was the trip? Informative, and an agreement has been made. Also, there's another thing I want to talk about, but I'll have to send someone to the old village in order to find out for sure. Sabria, wait, what did you find out? I sighed. My dad may be an elemental master of nature, water, ice, and earth. Sabria, and how do you know about this for a fact? Because the Elemental Master Tribe Council said that his first and last names are Wind Clash, though I thought Wind was just his middle name, but no, it's his first, and I need to know why he didn't tell me this. Oh, and one other thing I found out. Your mother, Gal Aurora, is the Gravity Council member's daughter, who is a combination of the elements gravity, speed, darkness, time, light, and form. Which means you are able to do the same thing she's able to do, but in the morning I'll send a messenger to escort them here to tell us why they didn't tell us, and have them train us to use our powers so that we can end a conflict before it starts. Sabria, and this Gravity Council member told you this with the other council members reacting the same way? Shocked? Yes, they did, and I was just as shocked about this as you, but I think I now understand why our natures are like this now. Sabria, you'll always be my landscape, and you my beautiful beloved horizon. We kissed, then went to bed after we ate dinner. The next morning I woke up early for some reason, but didn't question it. I went to one of our escorts. Can you please get my parents, Mr. and Mrs. Clash, as well as Mrs. Aurora here? They'll be in the old village. Escort. Yes, sir, but may I ask what this is about? You'll all find out in due time, but for right now, I need you to escort them here to my home so that Sabria and I can ask some questions that we're trying to ask. Escort. Okay then, I'll be back in an hour. Thank you. The escort nodded and headed off to get them. I went ahead and ate breakfast before they got here. After Sabria and I ate breakfast, we had time to spare, so we quickly checked on things, and then the gate barrier was opened. My mother called out. Mother. Hey, Sabor, what do you want to talk about? Let's talk inside our house about that. My mother spoke with a questioning tone. Mother. Okay. We all went into our house. The reason we had you three come here is because Sabria and I know two of y'all's secrets that we need you to bring out into the open. We need honesty, Father and Mrs. Aurora. Mother. Went? Father, you found the GTDS Council, didn't you? No, our researchers and explorers did. One of them just escorted me there so that we could make an agreement that involves the safety of our village with the additional knowledge that was brought up among the agreement. Father, well, it's true. I am an elemental master her of nature, water, ice, and earth, though I wasn't sure if you'd even inherit those powers. I only found out 2 days ago, and the other reason why I asked you here is so that you can train us to use our powers efficiently for the best effectiveness to those who dare to try to take our village. Father, I'll see what I can do, but this took me years to learn how to use these properly. I'm not you. I will do the training as fast as I can, even if it's slow. I'm determined to do my duty as the chieftain of the Saber clan. Father, well then, when can we start? Right after I make an announcement to the village what's going on with Sabria and I. Father, okay then, I'll be ready, but I need to talk to your mother real quick. You mean the reason why you didn't say anything to the two of us? Father, yeah, I'm definitely going to get hurt during this talk with her. You're lucky I didn't do it for her or before her. He nervously laughed. Father, well, I'll hit to that. Yeah. I walked over to the next room where Sabria and her mother were, catching her mother walking out angry. I went over and gave Sabria a hug while she was crying. Sabria, she said that she wouldn't train me because she wanted to leave her past behind her. I was going to ask what happened. She slapped me. I'll always be your landscape. Sabria, and I, your beautifully beloved horizon. Feel better? Sabria, a bit better, but could you please see about getting the truth out of her? I'll see about her telling you herself while I talk to her. Sabria, thank you. I walked outside and Mrs. Aurora snapped my way. Aurora, why did you have to put your village here of all places? Not by choice. We were given this place by our chieftain. Aurora, then why did you have found that council, let alone that damn cave? It was discovered through constructing this place by one of our new, more lively members, a Cree. Aurora, it was found by a kid with dumb luck? Yeah, but at least an agreement was made out of it to keep our village safe if we were to lose this place. Aurora, with how well you have secured this place, you could have fooled me. That slap wasn't meant for me, wasn't it? Or for who found the cave. She froze for a sec. Aurora, I did it because I had a flashback of my parents being harsh on me, not allowing me to do my own thing because they're paranoid and too drunk to let me do anything that wasn't doing what they asked of me. I see. Mind if I give you a hug? Aurora, I don't need your pity. No pity, just instincts. Aurora, fine, okay. I sat down with her, giving her a hug. You need to tell my beloved your story so that she'll understand why. Aurora, are you telling me what to do? I laughed. No, ma'am. Just letting you know what you can do in order to be better than your parents. Aurora, how do you suppose I tell her? By ignoring any flashbacks you may get, not being angry, being more calm, listening to her when she asks you a question, as well as listening to your own tone or yourself so you can make sure you don't do anything wrong, and on top of that, give her a hug in the end to let her know you still love her, then train her so she can help me to protect everyone, including her protecting you. Aurora, what if I slip somehow? If you do, I'll ask you to calm down, then you try again on where you were and continue explaining until the end. Do you think you can manage that? Aurora, alright, I'll try, but there's no promises if I don't end up doing it right. Then I'll encourage her to save you when she has a chance, then you can try again and again until you get it right. Aurora, you're persistent, you know that? I just go with the flow of things. I smiled. Aurora, let's get this over with. Okay then, after you, I insistently holding the door. Aurora, persistent and a gentleman. I smiled. Once we got back inside, we went to Sabria when we saw her encased in a void of space. Aurora ran over to Sabria. Aurora, Sabria, sweetie, I'm sorry for slapping you. I just didn't know why your clan had to find that forsaken cave. That's what I was mad about, not you. So if you could, Sabria. No, leave me alone. I don't want to hear your excuses. I just wanted you to love me. Aurora, I do, Sabria dear. I do love you. You were a blessing in my life the moment I found out I was pregnant with you in my womb and after you were born. I witnessed your first steps, your first words. I was there to see when you first morphed into a saber-toothed tiger. That's right, I was there hiding so you could find what you were waiting for to become. I witnessed it all except what happened after that, since I wasn't allowed to interfere with you learning and maturing to become a big, brave young woman. I'm sorry I wasn't there to see that, but I know you have had this young gentleman to help you with all that for you, which I am very grateful for. She kissed my cheek. I was shocked. Aurora, I am sorry. Now please come out of there so I can give you a kiss on the forehead. Sabria, okay. She calmed down and the void of space disappeared around her. Then Mrs. Aurora gave her daughter Sabria a kiss on the forehead like she said she gave us a hug. Aurora, I don't want you two to leave each other. You don't need to worry about that, ma'am. We are a thing after all. Aurora, I know, but... Sabria, but nothing. Also, I'm ready for you to let go, Mother. She let us go from the hug. So I guess it's time for that announcement. Sabria, guess so. See you when I'm done. I love you. Sabria, love you too. We kissed, then I opened the door to make my announcement. To be continued. The Morphling Civil Wars movie chapter. The day of the announcement, our village was attacked before I could make the announcement. Our defenses lasted almost an entire day, and we had a lot of injured, but on the 22nd hour, we were on our way to the GTDS city, but we blocked off the entrance/exit with rocks. When we made our first rest, I made my announcement. Everyone, I know this is sudden, especially with our village taken or destroyed. But I was going to make an announcement earlier, and here it is now. I found out recently that Sabrina and I are both part elemental masters that are living down here, which means that we will be learning how to use our elemental power as well. We get ready to have the fight of our lives, although we have to do our best to hit the elemental tribes to get along, or at least long enough to end this civil war amongst our own family of the old village. I don't know how we'll do it, but I know we will do it one way or another. Anyways, it's time to go on. We got to the city, but not without casualties. We lost almost 20 members of our clan. Only one was one of the new members. It was Habri. The pure young girl was so excited to live in our village. I feel very pissed, but right now is not the time for that. It's time to rest, then train for the fight yet to come. A year has passed since then, and I was training hard with my father in a room that was made to be fought in. We were jumping from wall to wall very fast with our elemental powers, but then I morphed into my animal form, and I got a burst of speed that allowed me to finally beat my father. He clapped his hands. Father, congratulations, you took me down, and looks like your animal form has changed. I morphed back into my human form. Please describe what I looked like. Father, it looks like your normal animal form, but with foggy frosty vapor around you. Oh, you looked a bit whiter than before, and you had vapor moving like fire around your eyes. You even had a bit of green within your white fur. Oh, your sabers were ice. Really? How interesting. Sabria opened the door. Sabria, are you two done training? As I need something to eat after that workout with my mother and council members. My father and I laughed. Father, yes, Sabria dear, we're done for the day and are ready to get something to eat. Sabria, okay then, let's go. She ran out the door. Let's go eat. Father, agreed. We walked out of the sparring room and headed out to get something to eat. We went to a place in the building we lived in for the moment called a cafeteria. I still don't understand these names, but I won't question, at least not too hard. The cafeteria was big, but did the trick for eating food. Sabria, so how was training today, Sabria? It was good. I even somehow applied my elemental powers to my animal form. Sabria, same here, but I somehow beat all the council members, and I'm guessing you managed to beat your father? Yeah, I did, though I still need to do better, but be patient and calm about it, cause when I am angry, I hit harder and faster, as well as more intent to kill if necessary. Sabria, same. We continued eating until we were done. Once we were done eating, we went to the same training room where Sabria and I had to work together to defeat the council members, as well as my father and Sabria's mother. Sabria, you ready, my beloved landscape? I am, my beloved horizon. Gravity Council member. Okay then, 3, 2, 1, go! Sabria went to the left while I went to the right, jumping up fast to hit the walls, morphing into our animal forms. Sabria had a purple galaxy coat, and even her eyes were galaxy-like, but still had slit eyes. She was beautiful, but anyways, we continued to bounce off the walls unpredictably, leaving an elemental trail that had a few surprises. The Darkness Council member tried to follow us, but once he hit the trail from me, he practically dropped frozen solid in ice and earth. The Speed Council member was the next to try to follow us, but avoided the elemental trail Sabria and I were producing off of us until we started running on the walls, making it more difficult for them to even attempt to try to follow us because they all fall into that trap, which led to the Speed Council member to hit Sabria's elemental trail, causing him to drop from the lack of air, putting him to sleep. Not long after, we had the entire room pitch black and beautiful. Gravity and Time Council members were stuck in place, not knowing what to do, turning to any sound they heard. One moment led to another, and we both took out the last two council members, leaving Sabria's mother as well as my father to defeat. We knew that they were seconds behind us, but once Sabria and I were going to collide with each other, we pushed each other's paws back to the wall, heading down. Sabria's mother as well as my father knocked into each other, knocking themselves out. Sabria and I landed back on the floor of the training room, then morphed back into our human forms, causing the elemental trails to clear up. I spoke while people came in to take the council members and Sabria's mother as well as my father to the infirmary. Well, that was creative of us. Sabria giggled a little. Sabria. Yeah, that was funny. Also, I like your fur coat. And I yours. But now they'll send more elemental masters at us to train with, so we should be a bit more metaphorically on our toes for whatever they throw at us next. Sabria. I'm already ahead of you since I've been going to the make your own art part of the building. I laughed. You are ahead of me. I was thinking of going last night. Sabria giggled, then spoke flirtatiously. Sabria, would you like to see my artwork? I spoke flirtatiously back. Well, of course. Sabria spoke, continuing to flirt. Sabria, well then, let's go see them. We giggled, then headed out. When we got to the art gallery, Sabria spoke while showing what she made. Sabria, here's my first one. I call it My Beloved Horizon. Well, that's uncanny and beautiful. Sabria, I knew you'd love it, but I got one more. Sabria showed me to the next one. Sabria, I call this one My Inner Nature. It looks like your eyes when you're in your animal form. Sabria, does it? And they're beautiful. We kissed for 15 seconds. When do you plan on making your next one? Sabria, tomorrow after training. Perfect. Now then, let's head out the infirmary to see how they are doing. Sabria, agreed. We headed out, then spoke to the nurse. Where is my father went? And Sabria's mother, Mrs. Aurora. Nurse, rooms W-O and G-O. Thank you, ma'am. Nurse, you're welcome, young sir. See you in a bit, my beloved Horizon. Sabria, and you, my beloved landscape. We giggled. We then split up. Sabria was headed to her mother's room while I was heading to my father's room. When I got there, I went in. So how are you doing, father? Father, I'm good. Just a head bumped through the head, that's all. Well, that's better than something serious. Father, agreed, but I gotta say, that was a clever move you two pulled. I'm guessing you two came up with that plan on the spot. I spoke sarcastically. No, we planned this before we got started training. I smiled halfway to laughing. Father, very funny, but I guess you two know what each other would come up with since you two are together. Yup. We laughed, then a nurse came in. Nurse, you are free to leave unless if you have something to add to keep you here. Father, no ma'am. Nurse, well then, guess I'll go to the next patient. She leaves the room. Need help getting up? Father, no, I've got it. He got up out of bed. Then we were going to see how Sabria's mother was doing, but they were heading our direction. I can assume you're okay, Mrs. Aurora? Aurora. I am indeed fine. Thank you for asking, young sir. Anytime. Sabria. Well then, who's ready to take a nap? We all smirked and raised our hands, then headed to our rooms. When Sabria and I got to our room, we went inside. I then morphed into my animal form, jumped onto the bed, then waited for Sabria to hop in bed with me. Once she did, we fell asleep. I saw the world transform into a 15% blizzard hell and a 25% paradise that was always night with a full moon. Aurora spread about the sky, transforming into Sabria's galaxy-colored eye. Even though it was terrifying, it was also beautiful as I could see the harmony between Sabria and I in full manifestation, but it was just a dream. Sabria and I woke up. We asked at the same time. Sabria, did you see our harmony? We laughed. So we did have the same dream, though too bad it couldn't have been real. Sabria, no kidding, it was a beautiful sight. It was. We heard a voice. Unknown. You two can make it real if you serve me. Our hearts pulsed. Who are you? Unknown. I am not mortal, but immortal, since I am the only God that there is or will. Hence, I am the only God that there is or will be. I am Yahweh, the King of Kings, the King of Order, the King of everything. Sabria, did you send us our animal counterparts? Lord Yahweh, I did, and if you obey me, you can change the world together, but you'd have to sacrifice your lives in order to have world peace to those who worship me. What do we have to do? Lord Yahweh, tell your clan who I am, what I am, my title, and my commandments for this world you'll create, but only tell them before you create it on the battlefield. We will, our Lord Yahweh. Lord Yahweh, I'll make sure you do, otherwise I'll strike you both down where you stand. Say, Bria, what are your commandments you want us to tell them all? Lord Yahweh, I'll tell you in due time, but I'll be waiting for the war to come to tell you both. Say, Bria, understood. Lord Yahweh, good. Now talk to you then. Love you both. Bye. We love you too, Lord Yahweh. We smiled happily. We headed out to get dinner afterwards, then called it a night. The next morning, after we ate breakfast, we went to train at the training room. When we got there, we saw a group of warriors ready to train. We saw the Gravity Council member talking to them, and when he saw us, he spoke. Gravity Council member. Sabria and Sabor. Today we'll decide whether or not you're both ready to try to unite or at least get the other elemental tribes, including us, to work together long enough to change the tides of the Morphling clans. Okay then, let's hear what your warriors are capable of. Gravity Council member. Okay then, I'll let you know when to start. I nodded, then we went in and got into position. Gravity Council member. Now remember, you two, these are strong warriors that are the strongest, not to mention more experience among our army. So try something new that'll keep them from winning against you. Anyways, the match will begin. 3, 2, 1, go! The warriors came running at us, but we focused all our energy to change our surroundings to create a realistic illusion that shows our inner natures in harmony, but it still was cold. The warriors slowed down to a stop when they couldn't see us. One of the warriors. Where did they go? The next warrior. I don't know, but keep a lookout. I made the soles of their feet freeze and covered in solid ice, while Sabria was lowering the atmosphere down slowly, making it hard for them to breathe with the cold. One of the warriors. Is it just me, or is the air thinning? They started to breathe harder and harder while Sabria made the atmospheric air lessen. Sabria set the atmosphere in the room back to normal and we broke the illusion. Is that creative and new, Gravity Council member? The Gravity Council member tried to hide a laugh but did poorly. Gravity Council member. That was new and creative indeed, though I do believe you two are ready to try to unite the other elemental tribes. Okay then, when do we start? The Darkness Council member spoke behind us. Darkness Council member, how about we meet up with them for dinner at the neutral grounds of the old Elemental Council Pavilion? Gravity Council member, that sounds good to me. I'm guessing that this pavilion is where one of all of the Elemental Master Council members were united a long time ago? Darkness Council member, 1,000 years ago, but the foundation is still strong since it was made with every element that there was. Gravity Council member, it may be still standing, but the more the elemental tribes scatter away from each other, the more it begins to break down. Well, anyways, please let us know when we need to get going so that we can see the problems between you all and counteract those problems with a solution. Gravity Council member, we'll leave as soon as we are ready. Gravity Council member, where are you two off to? To do some art with Sabria at the gallery. Gravity Council member, well, you have fun. See you soon. We waved behind ourselves and headed to the gallery. 5 hours later, we were told it was time to leave to the dinner, so we started to head there. When we got there, we saw the council members ready to go. We're here and ready to go. Time council member. Okay then, let's get going. We got into the circle and the speed council member began to run around the circle while the time council member began to wind back time. The surroundings began to change and everything came back up from a year ago with some changes. We got transported to the pavilion, which told me that they had control over where we end up as well. So this is the pavilion. I can see what you meant by how it is crumbling the more the elemental tribes stay separated. The pavilion was made of every element in a way that showed those elements beauty and strength through the history of how they slowly separated themselves to tear this place apart. Sabria. Sabor, look. Sabria pointed at the elemental head tribe members of the other elements coming this way. Okay, let's see how this will turn out. After we all ate, the Gravity Council member spoke. Gravity Council member. Okay then, everyone. Now that we're done eating, let's discuss why we called you all here. Head Fire Elemental Master. Yes, please. Let us know why. Gravity Council member. This is Sabria and Sabor, the chieftains of the Saber clan of the many Morphling clans from the surface. Sabor, please tell them what you want to say. Thank you, Gravity Council member. Anyways, we asked you all here to ask you all to cooperate for long enough to get the Morphling clans to become one like it once was a long time ago, with the possibility that you all come together as one unified tribe yourselves, like the ones before you had done so a long time ago that got them to create this pavilion in the first place. So tell me what you all think of this offer. Some of the head elemental masters laughed while the rest whispered to make a decision. Sabria, what's so funny about our offer? Head Fire Elemental Master. Oh, nothing. That's what makes you think we'll fight alongside them. If you don't like it, then maybe you should know that Sabria is the Gravity Council member's granddaughter, while I'm the son of Wind Clash. What do you say to that? Head Fire Elemental Master. You can't be serious. Well, does this not say that we aren't who we say we are? Sabria and I morphed into our elemental animal forms. Head Fire Elemental Master. Okay, fine. We'll fly alongside them. What about the rest of you? Head Form Elemental Master. I guess I don't have a choice, cause otherwise you two might bite my throat out one day. So yeah, I'm in. The rest agreed to work together. Some even are willing to combine with the other willing ones, all out of respect for my father and Sabria's mother. Week 1 of preparations. Every elemental master that was capable of fighting were training hard. Week 3 of preparations. We were telling the soldiers the order we're going in and told them to only kill the ones who tried to kill them as well as to be the ones who attacked second. The day we go out to the surface, we were making sure everybody was ready before going out, and of course they were. Time to see what became of our village. We went up to the exit to find it was still blocked, so one of the stone elemental masters came over and opened the path up. We continued on, and when we got to the top, we saw the place was completely burnt to a crisp, but at least the barrier wasn't that bad. I don't think the other clans would do this. They know better than that. A lightning storm must have done this. Bria. So what now? You guys wait for our signal. So Bria and I are heading over to the old village to give them a surprise. Heads of each elemental tribe. Let's come with you while our soldiers stay here to wait for our signal. Sure. Come on then. We headed to the old village to find it was also scorched. Okay, what's going on? Someone then spoke in the shadows. Unknown. After we gave up trying to infiltrate your village, a lightning storm came in and took out all but the Tai, Cayenne, Ursa, Avian, you, and Were clans. Though after the storm, we've been fighting ever since. Kaio? Kaio. Indeed. I'm also the chieftain of the Cayenne clan now. Also, who are your new friends, you two? I smiled. Fry, light his coat, please. Fry, with pleasure. Fry threw a fireball at Kaio's coat, causing him to say while thrashing his coat around trying to put out the fire. Kaio, what the hell? How did you? Fry laughed. Fry, I'm an elemental master of fire, you idiot. He continued to laugh when Kaio finally put out the fire from his coat. Kaio, that's it. He morphed into his animal form and howled, calling his clan over. We heard other howls, then we heard the growls of bears, the roars of tigers, the chirping of avians, and the howling of wolves. We saw at least 900 of them in total. We don't wish to fight, we wish to unite the clans into one, like it was a long time ago, as a family. But those who lashes out first in a life or death situation will die. So who wants that and who doesn't? The avians joined us, including the tigers and bears, leaving 500 left. Okay then, Echo, can you please have everyone listen to my voice at the cave? Echo, the head elemental master of sound. Echo, indeed. Before we begin this brawl, Sabria and I discovered a being more powerful than us Morphlings or elemental masters combined. His name is Yahweh, and he is the King of Kings, the King of Order, the King of everything, and is the only God there ever was. We intend on worshiping him, so brothers and sisters, join us in this journey, or we'll have no choice but to kill those who try to kill us. Both the coyotes and the wolves stayed there. Well then, attack us if you dare. Chieftain of the Were clan. Sabor, I'm Werepelt, the chieftain of the Were clan, and I was wondering, why do you risk getting destroyed when you can attack first to prevent from getting destroyed? Why attack first when you can have those back you up to tell the truth that we attacked in self-defense, what are you going to do? Attack us or join us? Wolfpelt. Everyone, let's go. We're out of here. The Were clan left, leaving the Cayenne clan. That makes 400 left. So what's it going to be, Kaio? Kaio. Everyone attack. None of them attacked. Kaio. Did you not hear me? I said attack. One of his own clan. There are too many, chieftain. There's no way we can fight them all and come out of it alive. Kaio was enraged. Kaio, what was that? I don't think I heard you right. Did you say you're scared to die? He morphed back into his animal form, but it looked different than the last time I saw his animal form. His animal form was indeed Kaio, but it looked more Hadar. Fry. There wouldn't happen to have been any elemental masters of darkness and fire who had left as a couple out from the elemental grounds. Fry. There was 31 years ago. Dar. Yeah, it's been some time since then, but you don't actually think. Well, answer me this. Then how the hell is he able to have the hot-headedness of that fire elemental master and that rage and dark side of that darkness elemental master? The entire Cayenne clan ran away from Kaio, being enraged, killing any of his own he could get. Kaio's form was darker. The ends of his fur were on fire. There was even dark fire over his eyes. Sabria, let's finish this together. Sabria. Agreed. You all call the warriors while Sabria and I take care of Kai. Now, don't speak, do. You ready, my beloved horizon? Sabria. I am my beloved landscape. We kissed. Then let's end this madness. We held each other's hands, focused, then we called out. Hey Kaio, it's us you want, not them. So come and get us. Kaio howled out and ran towards us. We morphed into our animal forms while running at Kaio. The more we focus on our powers, the faster and more powerful we got. Just as Kaio was going to pounce, we jumped, causing Kaio to flip onto his back, and we came down fast in a blinding light that expanded throughout the planet. Once the light disappeared, the world transformed into a blizzard-covered world that covers 75% of the planet, while 25% of the planet is a endless night-covered paradise filled with forests, mountains, cliffs, ravines, ice spikes, and snow plains for those who worship Yahweh or Elohim. The moon shines with enough light to feed the plants to sustain them to keep them growing. There were auroras leading to one point of the globe that made the sky more beautiful. Even the nebula that was the shape of a saber-toothed tiger's eye was more purple, bright, and more beautiful than ever. In the endless blizzard was a judgment of hell that those who didn't worship Yahweh or Elohim were held. At the borders of paradise in the blizzard were mountains being struck by lightning bolts of enough volts to incinerate a person's body. For those who wonder what happened to Kaio, well, he is the blizzard that is endless. Sabria and I told the world the Lord Yahweh's commandments of the parallel world. After we made our declaration, my soul was placed throughout paradise, and Sabria's soul throughout the saber-toothed tiger nebula eye. Our natures are finally showing themselves, fully and truly, showing our love for each other alongside our King of Kings, King of or King of everything, as well as our Soul Father. This was the Morphling Civil Wars. The end.